Sometimes it's a boyfriend, sometimes a husband, sometimes that almost that never became a real relationship. The person was cheated on, the other one disappeared right when the pain exploded, and months later they show up again with a simple hey. Hey stranger. Hey, how have you been? One word, two, maybe three at most, but they carry a truckload of memories, expectations, and unanswered questions. Today, I don't want to analyze this from a distance, like a cold clinical case. I want to step inside these scenes through the eyes of the people who lived them, using the stories that show up here in the comments every day. If at any moment you feel like I'm talking about you, it's not because I know your exact story. It's because, unfortunately, this pattern repeats itself way more than we'd like to admit. The question everyone asks me is, why do they come back? But in reality, the deepest pain is almost never in that question. The pain lives somewhere else, in how that hey presses on a wound you swore had already healed. You go weeks without hearing that person's name. Your notifications stay quiet. You start to breathe a little better, sleep a little more, go out without checking your phone every 5 minutes. Maybe you even meet new people. Maybe you're just learning to be okay on your own. Then, in 1 second, the screen lights up. Their name appears. It's like your whole body recognizes it before your mind does. Your heart races, your stomach drops, your hands get cold. The pain comes back, the doubt comes back, and a strange kind of guilt shows up too. Guilt for still wanting to answer. Guilt for still feeling something for someone who hurt you that much. Guilt for thinking, what if this time it's different? This episode is meant to be a safe place for you to look at that reaction without calling yourself weak all the time, to understand what's happening inside you when that message arrives, and to put responsibility back where it belongs. The first comment I'll read is from Anna. She wrote this: "He cheated on me with a coworker. First it was hidden messages, deleted conversations, weird hours. When I confronted him, he swore he would change. He cried, said it was a mistake, promised therapy, promised to cut contact. The next month, I found more messages, more meetups, more lies. He disappeared, blocked me. Suddenly, the person who'd been cheated on was the one who looked crazy, controlling, paranoid. Then 6 months of total silence. No messages, no real apology, nothing. Last night my phone buzzed. It was his name, and just one word, hey." Anna wrote that she spent almost half an hour opening and closing the chat. Her finger hovered over the keyboard. Then she erased lines she never even sent. She said that at one point she typed, "What do you want?" Erased it. Typed, "Do you have any idea what you did to me?" Erased it. Typed, "Why are you here again?" Erased that too. Part of her wanted to yell, to throw it all in his face, to make him hurt too. The other part just wanted to hear, "I regret it," even if it was a well-written, well-rehearsed lie. That's the trap. The hey wakes up the hunger for answers you never got. It's not just wanting to go back to the person. It's wanting for the first time to feel that your pain was seen, acknowledged, validated. It's like your heart saying, "I just need him to admit, once, that it wasn't all in my head." Anna wrote a sentence I know a lot of people here will understand. She said, "If he didn't think about me when he was cheating, why does this hey still get to me like this?" When I read that, I thought, Anna's pain isn't just about what he did, it's about what still lives inside her, even after everything. Another comment came from a single mom. She wrote, "He left when I was pregnant, disappeared on the day I gave birth, didn't show up for the first birthday. I raised our kid, I took care of everything. I stayed up all night alone with fevers, with pain, with fear. The only hands holding mine at doctor visits were my mom's or my friend's, never his. Now that his relationship with the other woman ended, he shows up with a hey and an I miss you, as if he lost something he actually took care of." She said she saw that message in the kitchen, washing dishes with one hand and holding the phone with the other. Behind her, a baby chair sitting empty, toys on the floor, a sink full of dishes no one else helps with. She wrote, "I spent so many nights awake by myself, begging for him to show up, begging for him to at least ask about our child."
Now that he's alone too, suddenly I become a good memory. For him, it's just a hey. For me, it's everything he never was. Do you see the pattern? He doesn't come back when you need him. He comes back when he needs you. He appears when he's lonely, when the other relationship falls apart, when his ego is bruised, when life isn't as fun as he imagined.
Not a real request for forgiveness. It's a request to get back the comfort of knowing you're still there, available, on emotional standby. Another comment I got was from Lucas. He wrote, "He never wanted to admit we were together. In front of other people, we were just friends. On social media, no pictures, no captions, nothing. But at the same time, he never let me go. He'd disappear for weeks, live his life, post party pictures, travel with other people, and every time he fought with someone, every time something went wrong over there, he'd come back to my chat with a hey, just to see if I was still here." Lucas summed up the pain in one line. He knows exactly how much it hurts to see his name on my screen, and still, he only shows up when his world is falling apart, never when mine is. If you've lived something like this, you know, it's not just the text, it's the whole history that comes with it. Every new hey carries all the old ones. Every new hey stranger carries every time you are left unread. What Anna, the single mom, and Lucas describe has a name: emotional crumbs, breadcrumbing. It's when someone gives you tiny doses of attention, of I miss you, of I was thinking about you, just enough so you can't bring yourself to fully walk away, but never enough to fully choose you. They don't want commitment to your truth. They want access to your affection when their world feels bad. You become a plan B, an emotional backup, sometimes even a physical one. There was also a comment from a follower who wrote, "I answered the hey just to be polite, I swear. I thought it doesn't hurt to be polite. I replied, 'Hey, how are you?' 2 days later, I was once again explaining my pain to someone pretending not to remember what he'd done. He'd say, 'I don't really remember how it was.' He'd say, 'You blow things out of proportion.' He'd ask, 'Why are you still talking about this?' He didn't come back different. I was the one who came back weaker." Later, she realized, a hey turns into an I miss you very quickly when he needs to ease his guilt, not the pain he caused me. That's the point. The problem isn't just the message that arrives. It's the movie that starts playing in your head. You imagine him admitting everything, truly apologizing, maybe showing up at your door with flowers, saying he's going to therapy, promising to change. You write an entire script in your mind and forget that in real life, he only sent 3 letters, H-E-Y. It's not the hey itself that keeps you stuck. It's the story you write on top of it. That fantasy makes you vulnerable to repeating the same cycle, the same promise, the same hope, the same heartbreak. There was also a comment from a guy who said, "In my case, it wasn't even a hey, it was a phone call." He told it like this: "He called me late at night. I saw his name on the screen and my heart started racing. I answered thinking he would finally own up to what he did, that he'd apologize, maybe try to make things right somehow. 5 minutes in, the whole conversation had turned into him venting about his new relationship. I became free therapy. I was the one saying, 'Calm down, you're not that awful,' while he complained about the other guy. In the end, he only said he missed what we had." After that call, he wrote, "I realized he wasn't calling for me. He was calling any person who would still treat him like a priority. I was just a familiar voice, a convenient shoulder." So let's go back to the first question. Why do they come back? The hard truth is that a lot of people don't come back because they woke up transformed. They come back because they missed the place where they were taken care of, praised, comforted, without having to face what they did. When the adventure is over, when the novelty wears off, when the ego hurts, when loneliness sets in, you become the idea of home. But that doesn't mean there's a home for you in that place, because that place was never built with your safety in mind. It was built to be comfortable for them. There was a follower who blocked his number right after the hey. She wrote, "When I hit block, I cried like I was ending things all over again.
I almost undid it right away, but for the first time I was crying while choosing my peace, not the pretty version of him I had created in my head. She summed it up like this: "It hurt, but now the pain is taking me away from him, not back to him." Maybe you see yourself more in that place. The pain doesn't magically disappear the moment you stand up for yourself. What changes is the meaning of the pain. It stops being the pain of being abandoned and becomes the pain of growing. If you have a hey sitting on your screen right now, and half of you wants to answer, I'm not going to call you weak. You're not weak for missing someone who hurt you. You're human. You got attached, built a story, built routines, and your body remembers that.
Is that you got used to calling love a place where you had to shrink yourself to fit in. The real question isn't, has he changed? The real question is, if I answer this hey and everything goes back to how it was, will I still recognize myself, or will I lose myself all over again? Because sometimes the danger isn't him coming back. It's you going back to the role of accepting anything. It's you going back to bargaining things that deep down you know you shouldn't be bargaining anymore. Another person confessed this. I answered. We laughed, remembered the past, spent a night together. I woke up with that feeling that maybe now it would be different. The next day, he disappeared again. It wasn't just him betraying me twice. I felt like I had betrayed the part of me that already knew how this story ends. When I read that, I thought, the first betrayal was his. The second one starts when you go back to a place that already broke you, just because you're afraid of the emptiness. Answering the hey is not just about him. It's about who you choose to stay with him or with yourself. It's about which voice you decide to listen to. The voice that says, take whatever you can get, just don't be alone. Or the voice that says, I deserve more than crumbs. So if there's a hey sitting in your notifications today, remember this. The message is his choice. The reply is yours. He's already shown you who he is when no one was watching. He's shown you who he is when you were crying alone, when you begged for a bit of responsibility, and he chose silence. Now it's your turn to show yourself who you want to be from here on out. You can choose to answer. You can choose not to. The point isn't to be perfect or right. The point is not abandoning yourself in the moment you decide. And if you've ever gotten that hey after being cheated on, whether it was a relationship, a marriage, a situationship, or a we're not really together, but if you've lived this movie of someone disappearing, coming back, disappearing again, take a minute to look honestly at your own story. Did you answer? Did you block? Did you pretend you didn't see it? Did you go back and get hurt again? Or did you, for the first time, choose yourself? Not everything needs to be written in the comments, but whatever you're able to recognize inside yourself, no one else can take away. And the more people have the courage to look at this pattern, the less power these empty hays will have over our lives. This episode is for you who are afraid of repeating yourself, for you who know you deserve more, but still shake when that name pops up on your screen. If that's you, take a deep breath. You're not alone in this.